American Horror Story. All 12 seasons ranked from Murder House to Delicate. Each year, eagle-eyed viewers wait with bated breath to discover which classic horror trope will be explored and subverted on American Horror Story. From killer clowns to cannibalistic Ingrids and dildo drill demons, the storylines have broken boundaries for the genre on the small screen and influenced a plethora of television series, while simultaneously popularizing the anthology format. For its signature blend of camp and terror, trailblazing LGBTQIA+ representation and rainbow cast members, American Horror Story has also garnered a devoted following amongst the queers. It helps that the cast consists of legendary women that have gays screaming mother, with the likes of Jessica Lange, Sarah Paulson, Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Leslie Grossman, Emma Roberts, Lily Rabe, and of course, Lady Gaga. There's often discourse online as to which season of American Horror Story is the supreme, so we've taken it upon ourselves to rank all 12 installments from worst to best, from the inaugural stylings of Murder House to Delicate. Without further ado, Emma Roberts, Matt Chukri, Kim Kardashian, Annabelle Dexter-Jones, Michaela J. Rodriguez, Dennis O'Hare, Cara Delevingne, Julie White, Maz Ali. News of Kim Kardashian's involvement with Delicate was met with contempt online, with fans describing it as a joke and stunt casting in order to attract more viewers. Ironically, her performance as Sylvan Corbin, the wickedly bitchy publicist to Emma Roberts' Oscar-hungry Anna Victoria Alcott, is widely considered to be one of Delicate's saving graces. Not Emmy-worthy, but enjoyable. Based on Danielle Valentine's novel Delicate Condition, the 9-episode season focuses on Anna, an actress who is convinced that someone or something is trying to stop her pregnancy. Honestly, I did not envision a reality where Double Feature was usurped as American Horror Story's worst outing. The first 5 episodes of Red Tide save it from last place. But yeah, here we are. Not a lot worked, bar Kim's surprisingly entertaining performance and Anna's campy pro-abortion and defecation Instagram reel. The gaslighting aspect is both a positive and negative, because while Delicate delivered a rather accurate depiction of psychological abuse, it felt like 80% of the season consisted of Anna running amok and losing her mind, which got a bit old. And the final, insulting. The threat, a coven of evil witches led by Sylvan, were eradicated with a simple incantation from a ghost. Who signed off on that? I need names and addresses. Sarah Paulson, Avon Peters, Lily Ray, Finn Whitrock, Frances Conroy, Billy Lord, Leslie Grossman, Adina Porter, Angelica Ross, Macaulay Culkin, Ryan Kira Armstrong, Dennis O'Hare, Neil McDonough, Kaya Gerber, Nico Greetham, Isaac Cole Powell, Rachel Hilson, Rebecca Dayan, Cody Fern, Christopher Stanley, Craig Sheffer, Mike V. Vuge with gnarly pale creatures that wouldn't look out of place on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Sarah Paulson's hilariously unhinged tuberculosis Karen, lurking around an eerie Provincetown setting. The first half of Double Feature marked a promising return to American Horror Story's horror-centric beginnings. Red Tide's story felt somewhat original. All the fan-favorite veterans returned, and it was a perfect blend of hair-raising terror and high camp. So it's extremely baffling that the creators, "We're taking aim at you, Ryan," ended the season with a deeply unsatisfying and rushed final to transition into Death Valley, arguably the 4 most catastrophic hours in American Horror Story's history, including American Horror Stories, Eek. Returning to the Alien storyline first introduced in Asylum, the alternating timelines jarred viewers. The Gen Z newcomers were unable to keep up with the mainstays and the plot. Honestly, nothing worked except for Leslie Grossman's lovely wig. If only Red Tide received the full season treatment. Russell Tovey, Joe Mantello, Charlie Carver, Billy Lord, Leslie Grossman, Sandra Bernhard, Isaac Cole Powell, Zachary Quinto, Dennis O'Hare, Patty Lupone, Jeff Hiller. Enough and said it is how we describe NYC. centering on a series of murders plaguing the gay community in the 80s. It's sexy, subversive, and has Patty LuPone belting fever in a bathhouse. Could it get any gayer? Yes, the serial killer, known as Big Daddy, is a leathered-up muscle man with a gimp mask who had gay viewers begging to be his next victim. No, seriously, Twitter was a mess. NYC deserves props for highlighting the dire protections for LGBTQIA plus people during this era, particularly gay men, as well as the lack of mainstream recognition for queer women. Sadly, NYC doesn't do much in the horror department. Of course, it comes down to personal preference, but the suspense, terror, and shock factor is sorely missing. Think of the eerie ambience of Asylum, Twisty's chilling introduction in Freak Show, and the dread permeating Roanoke. Admittedly, Coven, Hotel, and 1984 were also void of scares, although they made up for it in dialing up the camp. But there's not a lot of that in NYC either, which is confusing for a season that includes It Bears Repeating, a bathhouse dominated by Patty LuPone's powerhouse vocals, and a henched, undead serial killer who is later revealed to be a manifestation of the AIDS epidemic. Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Cheyenne Jackson, Allison Pill, Billy Lord, Billy Eichner, Emma Roberts, Adina Porter, Leslie Grossman, Colton Haynes, Chaz Bono, Lena Dunham, exploring the aftermath of D***PT***PT***Peace presidential election and the rise of a Trumpist cult led by Evan Peters' blue-haired sociopath Kai Anderson. Cult is one of the series' most normal offerings. 0 appearances are made from aliens, vampires, witches, or scathed/addiction demons. There's just clowns and the aforementioned orange Neanderthal, which is, somehow, worse. While the plot is intriguing, it doesn't fully commit to representing the historic conflict between the U.S. two major political parties like we envisioned, and although where Sarah Paulson stands through and through, it's a struggle to get on board with her leading hero, Allie Mayfair Richards. Her trajectory is great, though. As is the case with the above entry, Cult isn't particularly scary. Again, important for a horror series. Positives incoming. Adina Porter as cutthroat reporter Beverly Hope, the slasher-inspired killers, and Allie shrieking her way out of clown chaos in the supermarket. Sarah Paulson, Kathy Bates, Evan Peters, Adina Porter, Billy Lord, Leslie Grossman, Cody Fern, Emma Roberts, Cheyenne Jackson, Jessica Lange, Billy Eichner, Frances Conroy, Taysa Farmiga, Gabrielle Sidib, Billy Porter, Angela Bassett, Lily Ray, Naomi Grossman. There were gay gasps all around when Apocalypse revealed its true nature as a sequel to Coven. Seeing the return of the series' iconic witches to prevent doomsday is fan service executed perfectly and ties up some much-needed loose ends with Misty, Lily Raby, Queenie, Gabrielle Sidib, and Marie Laveau, Angela Bassett, escaping various cases of hell and damnation. While the return of Jessica Lange, after a 3-season absence, as her murder house character Constance Langdon elicited even more gay gasps, it's disappointing that she doesn't make a further appearance as her legendary Coven Supreme Fiona Good. As for the apocalypse part of the season, there isn't much of it. Instead of having the characters explore the nuclear wasteland and the potential horrors that would emerge as a result, too much time is spent in the past, and the heroes at the start of the season are off so early that their inclusion is completely pointless. Lady Gaga, Kathy Bates, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Wes Bentley, Matt Bomer, Flo Savigny, Dennis O'Hare, Cheyenne Jackson, Angela Bassett, Mare Winningham, Finn Wittrock. Lady Gaga's American Horror Story debut earned the pop icon a Golden Globe for her role as the Countess, a blood-sucking fashionista residing in the penthouse of the Hotel Cortez. Despite her acclaimed performance, Hotel suffers ever so slightly in Jessica Lange's absence and for prioritizing its camp qualities over the pure, unadulterated horror that we've come to expect from the series. Listen, we love a bit of camp. We are literally GALITIMES, and it wouldn't be American Horror Story without it. But sue us. We want horror from a horror series. That doesn't mean we can't appreciate the campy aspects, from the Countess paying homage to Bianca Jagger's Studio 54 horse ride to Evan Peters' manic portrayal of serial killer James Patrick March, and Naomi Campbell being stabbed to death by Schmidt from New Girl. The themes of love, loss, and identity were well done, as were Sarah Paulson and Dennis O'Hare's respective performances as dead prostitute Sally McKenna and eccentric trans bartender Liz Taylor. And aesthetically, it's aged at its best. We just wish a few narratives, such as the mystery behind the Ten Commandments killer and the strap-on wielding addiction demon, featured more prominently. Jessica Lange, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Michael Chiklis, Francis Conroy, Dennis O'Hare, Emma Roberts, Finn Wittrock, Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Wes Conroy, garnering the most Emmy nominations of an American Horror Story season to date. Freak Show focuses on one of the last remaining freak shows in the U.S., headed by Nazi Germany survivor Elsa Mars, Jessica Lange in her final regular role, whose eyes are set on Golden Age Hollywood. At the time of release, Freak Show received a mixed response from fans and critics, but has been retrospectively appreciated for introducing, arguably, the franchise's most memorable antagonist in serial killer clown Twisty, John Carroll Lynch, and for its tragic undertones when compared to the fun and witty witch escapades of Coven. Ma Petite deserved better. Twisty's abrupt demise regrettably tarnishes the remainder of the season, with Finn Wittrock's spoiled, psychopathic Dandy Mott failing to live up to his genuinely terrifying and heartbreaking presence. Emma Roberts, Leslie Grossman, Billy Lord, Angelica Ross, Gus Kenworthy, Matthew Morrison, Cody Fern, Zoc Villa, John Carroll Lynch, Orla Brady, Lou Taylor Pucci, Lily Rabe. We have entered peak American Horror Story territory. Inspired by slasher classics Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and Sleepaway Camp, 1984 follows 5 Fitchin camp counselors as they're hunted by 2 separate serial killers. Very bad luck. The Night Stalker, Zoc Villa, and Mr. Jingles, John Carroll Lynch. From the addicted synth-pop intro to its wink-wink approach to classic horror tropes, as well as Leslie Grossman's scene-stealing performance of maniacal icon Margaret Booth, 1984 is the series as its most fun and bloody. Host star Angelica Ross, who made history as the first trans actress to secure 2 regular roles on television, was a welcome addition to the franchise, as was Gus Kenworthy's endearing portrayal of bitter himbo Chet Clancy. And Brooke Thompson may not have been Emma Roberts' most memorable or interesting character, but she did gift us this beautiful quote: "I gutted that bitch from the inside out. Now she's in hell licking Satan's balls." Sarah Paulson, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lily Ray, Andre Holland, Lady Gaga, Dennis O'Hare, Wes Bentley, Evan Peters, Cheyenne Jackson, Adina Porter, Leslie Jordan, Francis Conroy. Roanoke is the most polarizing season of American Horror Story. Sarah Paulson even said she was underwhelmed by it and didn't care about this season at all. Presented as a paranormal documentary series titled My Roanoke Nightmare, the season reenacts the story of a married couple, Paulson and Cuba Gooding Jr., experiencing spooky disturbances in their North Californian home. The second half, presented as found footage, depicts the doomed production of the documentary's sequel. Revisiting the slower, subdued pace of Murder House and Asylum, Roanoke is brutal and uncomfortable. With over 40 jump scares, cannibalistic inbreds, and, this is the most petrifying aspect of the season, Kathy Bates' Elizabethan Lancashire accent as the butcher, it feels like the last season that tried to scare the bejesus out of viewers. Roanoke also includes some unintentional comedy thanks to Audrey Tyndall, Sarah Paulson's arrogant British actress who can't quite come to terms with the carnage across the pond. Reminisce on her best bits and count how many times she says, "Oh my God." Here, Jessica Lange, Lily Ray, Emma Roberts, Taysa Farmiga, Francis Conroy, Sarah Paulson, Evan Peters, Dennis O'Hare, Kathy Bates, Angela Bassett, Gabrielle Sidibe, Patti LuPone, Stevie Nicks. Historically, queers have always been attracted to superpowered women in the horror/fantasy genres. Whitrock, Buffy, Charmed, Alien, Xena, Warrior Princess, etc. Hence why American Horror Story's limp wrist following exponentially increased with Coven. Following various students at Miss Robicheaux's academy as they come to terms with their witchy abilities, from telekinesis to transmutation, the season became a pop culture juggernaut thanks to the camp and fierce sensibilities of its leading women. Jessica Lange's mainstream popularity undoubtedly reached a new peak as Fiona Good, the power-hungry supreme known for her biting wit and manipulative tendencies, while Emma Roberts' status as the supreme of virality kicked off with her self-centered starlet Madison Montgomery. Angela Bassett's feared voodoo queen Marie Laveau made for a powerful foil to Fiona. Their haircut scene was the mother-off we needed and deserved, and Frances Conroy's eccentric redhead Myrtle Snow aesthetically stomped on the rest of the characters with her culture-heavy ensembles. All of the above are now considered members of the mother community, as in the queer term of affection, and the fact that each star didn't receive an Emmy for successfully pandering to the gays is an abomination. Connie Britton, Dylan McDermott, Evan Peters, Taysa Farmiga, Dennis O'Hare, Kate Mara, Zachary Quinto, Jessica Lange, Eric Stonestreet, Frances Conroy, Sarah Paulson, Lily Rabe Spooky, Salacious and Sexy, Dylan McDermott, hello? American Horror Story's inaugural season was unlike anything on television at the time. From the haunted chaos of the titular setting to the trauma of a school shooting and the BDSM gimp suit stylings of the Rubberman, Murder House succeeded in its mission, making viewers weep with fear and extremely horny. Featuring a cohesive story with a clear beginning, middle, and end, quite rare for this series. Murder House turns the traditional haunted house narrative on its head with a subversive take on love, ghouls, and domestic life. Jessica Lange's portrayal of Constance Langdon, a God-fearing, conniving Southern belle who rules her children with an iron fist, might just be one of the small screen's finest horror performances in recent memory. While the season has been credited with catapulting its already legendary cast into the zeitgeist of popular culture, several stars went on to earn acclaim for later projects, such as Sarah Paulson for American Crime Story, Evan Peters for Dahmer, and Taiwan Farmiga for The Nun. There's just one season that did it better. Sarah Paulson, Jessica Lange, Lily Rabe, Zachary Quinto, Joseph Fiennes, Evan Peters, Lizzie Broderie, James Cromwell, Chloe Sevigny, Ian McShane, Naomi Grossman, Frances Conroy. American Horror Story's magnum opus, Asylum, takes place in 1964 and follows the staff and inmates at Briarcliff Manor, a mental institution run by Sister Jude, Jessica Lange, a corrupt nun who uses her power to unlawfully institutionalize Lana Winters, Sarah Paulson, a lesbian reporter seeking to expose its dark secrets. Asylum has everything you could want from a horror show. Evil nuns, Valak could never, alien abductions, saw levels of torture, heaps of gore, and Maroon 5's lead singer being butchered by a serial killer known as Bloody Face. Asylum tops our list because it's, we cannot stress this enough, cohesive with a genuinely disturbing, bleak, and blood-curdling atmosphere that hasn't been replicated by any season since, accompanied by a plethora of Emmy-worthy performances from industry legends. It's the most tear-jerking season, too. The ending is the series as its most poignant, with Lana and Jude's arcs coming full circle. The former finally achieves peace and fame after her torment at Briarcliff, while the latter's journey from ruthless villain to sympathetic anti-hero is one of the series' best payoffs. On a final note, Asylum includes the series' first case of camp, a word we have not mentioned once in this article, with the name Game, a delightfully random musical sequence led by Lange that is perhaps the best embodiment of the series' dark humor. Drag queens have even lip-synced to it, which is important. American Horror Story Season 12's theme causes a huge Season 13 problem. American Horror Story Season 12's unique storyline based on a novel may not fit into the show's larger canon. Delicate's rushed final left many plot threads unresolved, limiting the potential of intriguing characters. Season 13 could subtly reference Delicate to connect it to the series' universe, avoiding the need for a direct sequel. While American Horror Story Season 12 solved some of the anthology show's biggest issues, the outing's best improvement only complicates the future of the series. Every season of American Horror Story is connected, but the show upset this tradition with its most recent outing. American Horror Story Delicate was the first season to be based on an existing piece of source material, namely author Danielle Valentine's novel Delicate Condition. Although American Horror Story Season 13 might return to the fictional universe shared by the anthology show's earlier seasons, Delicate seemingly took place in a world of its own. Delicate told the story of Anna Alcott, an actor balancing her pregnancy with an awards campaign while trying to uncover a creepy conspiracy of cultists working against her. American Horror Story Delicate's ending finally explained the show's big twist, revealing that Kim Kardashian's character Chauvin Corbin was secretly the season's villain all along. Chauvin was Anna's publicist, but she was also revealed to be an ageless demonic entity who convinced women to incubate demons in exchange for success and power. Anna defeated Chauvin in a bizarrely rushed, anticlimactic series final, but it was not clear if either character can return. American Horror Story Delicate may not be canon since Delicate was based on a pre-existing, self-contained text and didn't share any characters with earlier seasons. Unlike every preceding outing of the series, American Horror Story Season 12 may not even be part of the show's larger overarching canon. It is unclear whether the characters featured in the series can return in later outings, which is doubly unfortunate after American Horror Story Delicate's short Season 12 final. Although Anna's story did get an ending, the way she destroyed her nemesis was unclear, the fate of the cult members went unmentioned, and various subplots ended abruptly after entire episodes of setup. While the preceding episode revealed that Anna's husband, Dex, had an affair with a nurse, this was never mentioned again since Dex was swiftly killed off in the final. Chauvin inexplicably revealed that she was Dex's mother after his death, but there was no time for the implications of this twist to sink in. American Horror Story Season 12's hurried final revealed numerous interesting villains and left various plot threads dangling. Since the season was based on a novel, it is currently unclear whether subsequent outings will mention these characters and events again or if they will be forgotten. American Horror Story Delicate's best characters might never be seen again. Many of American Horror Story Season 12's best characters were woefully underexplored, and this was exacerbated by the panicked pacing of the final episode. In particular, Matt Chuckry's Dex and Kim Kardashian's villain Chauvin turned out to be campy highlights, with Dex's affair being one of American Horror Story Season 12 Episode 8's best twists. However, Anna's final interaction with her husband consisted of a 30-second scene where she informed him that they were separating, followed by a chaotic ambulance ride that ended with his grisly, sudden, unexplained death. Even this death had untapped story potential. Kardashian's villain ordered an underling to kill Dex, only to then kill her when she went through with the request. Chauvin said that this was all a test, a bizarre and hilarious twist that proved Kardashian's character could have become as iconic as Jessica Lange and Kathy Bates' earlier American Horror Story villains. However, her sudden, disappointing death in the very next scene will likely be the last time that viewers ever see Chauvin. Adapting a book improved American Horror Story Season 12, but it also means that the show will now have a hard time bringing back these underused characters. Delicate hurts American Horror Story's best future. The next seasons of American Horror Story should consider repeating Delicate's best trick by adapting other original stories. Compared to the messiness of Season 10, Double Bill, And season 11, NYC Delicate had a cohesive plot with clear stakes until its final. It might be hard to believe since the ending descended into jumbled silliness, but Delicate featured some of the show's strongest plotting in years until its final. The last 4 seasons of the series, Apocalypse, 1984, Double Bill, and NYC, started strong, switched plots after only an episode or two, and completely lost their original purpose before their halfway point. In contrast, Delicate not only made sense but patiently built tension across its first half. Even the first episodes of Part 2 were strong, maintaining a clear storyline while slowly adding in increasingly zany and outlandish twists. However, adapting original works is an approach that has drawbacks of its own. Bringing another book to life would mean that American Horror Story once again couldn't use the settings and events from the sprawling fictional universe of its first 11 seasons. The series also couldn't bring back underrated characters like Talia, who were wasted throughout American Horror Story Season 12's earlier episodes. How American Horror Story Season 13 can handle Delicate's standalone story there is a way for American Horror Story Season 13 to fix Delicate's biggest mistake, and the fact that the series often reckons events from earlier seasons helps. Characters from Season 13 could make oblique references to the story of Delicate, thus confirming that the season did take place in the show's universe after the fact. American Horror Story has used the same actors in new roles for over a decade, so there is nothing strange about the same stars appearing in Season 13 and playing different characters. This means that Delicate's story doesn't need to be an unrelated waste. As such, American Horror Story Season 13 could make the most of Delicate's fictional universe without necessarily being a direct follow-up to the season. The only direct sequel in the show's history, Season 8's Apocalypse, was one of the worst outings of the series and a misjudged belated follow-up to 2013's Coven. It is clear that Delicate doesn't need a second season to flesh out its plot. What Delicate does need is to become part of the larger universe of the series, meaning its underutilized characters could potentially crop up again in later outings of American Horror Story.